Evening freaks, I'm here tonight to do something a little different, something I haven't done for a while. We're going to do an unboxing of the Glow in the Dark Tarot that features the Rider-Waite Tarot, which is a pretty standard traditional deck that most people get their chops on when they're learning the tarot. But this has a different take. It's glow in the dark. And yes, you do have to charge up the deck first. I did open this deck. I haven't really gone through it, but I did try to at least get a little charging time in on the major arcana. I am going to turn off the lights in middle of the video at a certain point, and we'll see how good of a glow charge it has. I have a feeling, as with most glow in the dark stuff, it's better when you really let it charge up for a while. I'm just breaking these open, so I don't know how big of an effect we'll get, but I'm utilizing the lighting I'm using tonight because I'm hoping it'll charge them up a little bit while I share them with you and we have a look at them. And then I'm going to fit in a little mini collective read, okay? So it should be fun. And this is what the box looks like. It's a really nice, sturdy box. Love the box, okay? I always like a good box, you know, when it comes to tarot cards. You know, I love how it has the temperance image on the back there, and it's got a real cool textural feel to it with the glow in the dark effect. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm a very kind of tactile sort of person. You probably noticed whenever I'm doing anything, I'm always like hands all over it, but I get a lot through just like feeling, sensing. I got all the clairs, so it tends to come in for me, and I love the way it feels. It has like a nice texture. It's like the contrast of rough and smooth, but it's a nice solid box, and so that's always nice because it preserves the integrity of your cards. Some of these cards that I have also are kind of more lightweight stock. And for me, with as much as I use them, that's not a good thing because I just destroy them so quickly. But these cards also, probably because of that glow in the dark treatment they have on them, they're a little bit thicker, they're a little bit higher quality of a card. So far, I'm really digging them. I haven't shuffled them yet, of course. Tonight will be the first night with all of you. But it does come with a guidebook. And it's a pretty nice guidebook. It's just all, paperback, but again, it's pretty high quality paper. It's not flimsy. Everything feels like it was put together in a way with mindfulness about, just keeping the cards and the guidebook in good condition. So I admire that. I admire the details, and they have a little breakdown of each of the cards from major arcana to minor arcana with some just sort of bullet point meanings to help people kind of have a jump off point. But we all know, those of us who are readers out there, we all know that sometimes you get stuff coming in with the cards that have absolutely nothing to do with the traditional meaning. It's all about the way the archetypal imagery speaks to you and what it unlocks in your consciousness. So those of you who are just getting started with tarot and you're exploring, don't be hard on yourself if you see something in the cards that isn't in alignment with the traditional meaning, because that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's unlocking something in your intuition that's speaking to you in a different way. So I always say with people who are just learning, and I don't know why this is coming in, maybe people who are just learning tarot are really interested in unboxing videos because they want to know, what deck should I get? This would be an excellent deck for somebody who's just getting started with tarot, who maybe wants something like a little different though, Maybe they find just the plain old Rider-Waite tarot a little boring. They want something a little unusual. This would be great because this is a good sturdy deck, so it would have longevity. It would last you a long time. It has the same imagery. It is based on the Rider-Waite tarot. But you can have a lot of fun with it, with the glow in the dark element. And of course, it's going to be black light sensitive too, which is kind of why I'm using the lighting that I'm using tonight. I don't really have a black light, but this kind of real pale blue color can really highlight and sort of give you an idea of what the effect will be like. I'll have to be investing in some black light strips soon here. But yeah, it's just nice, general, overview. general guidelines for how to work with the cards. Let's see, normally, you know, you get some kind of layout in one of these guidebooks. I'm going to see if they provide that. Pretty standard to see like a Celtic cross layout. They have a few different layouts here. They have a moving forward tarot spread, okay? And a then, now, and later spread, all right? I think it looks like they totally bypassed the traditional Celtic spread, which, hey, cool, okay? So a couple different spreads you can work with there if you're just trying to get your feel for it. Again, there is no real wrong way to use them. I think sometimes when you're just getting started out, it can be helpful to work with something like a layout. And I do enjoy working with the zodiac wheel layout that I've been playing with lately, just because it really allows you to look at many different areas of life and sort of hone your vision and your intuition to how that card may be speaking in that particular area. So if you're really looking at something where you need a very detailed, clear response, that can be great. But again, you can play with them any old way you want. You can do like 52 pickup. And that works too. So we're just going to look at all of them, okay? We're going to breeze through all of them just so we can see what they look like. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Rider-Waite Tarot. If you're into tarot, you've probably seen a traditional deck of tarot cards, but you know, that's okay. We're just going to see the effect of them, how they look, and then I'm going to do you know, like a mini read, and we'll see about turning out all the lights and how much glow factor we got on them then. So it'll be fun. So starting out here, we have the Fool. So they're on a black background, and I really like that. I love black cards. I love simple black and white too. It's nice. The Magician. The High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. The Chariot. These are all the ones I gave a little bit of charge time to before we started. So they're getting a little extra blast now. Strength. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. Let's get in there so you can see the line detailing a little bit. They're rather striking in black and white. I really like them in just the plain, you know, simple, stark contrast of the black and white makes those images just translate in a different way for me. I don't know if you get that from it, but I'm really picking up kind of a different vibe. Like I noticed here with the moon, right? In the traditional tarot, with the moon, you tend to focus more on the dark aspect. But what I'm really noticing here is I'm much more drawn to the light, you know, the light that's within the darkness. And so I like this because it could really bring forward a lot of different interpretations. And just so you can see the back side, it's just a simple kind of star pattern. I really like this too. Everything about this deck is just very clean and streamlined and high contrast. The Sun, Judgment, whoop, and we have the World, which completes the journey of the major arcana. And the major arcana are said to be fated events. They're things that we don't really have control over. They're part of our karma. They're things that we need to experience on our path in order to evolve, to learn the lessons we came here to learn. So those are things that are dictated by providence, and we kind of do best to just go with the flow and work with the energies when they present themselves when we see a major arcana card come up in a reading. Now we're looking at the suits, okay? So we got The Ace of Cups, this is the cup suit. The cup suit is associated with the element of water. It's about emotions. It's about creativity. It's about nurturing. It's about love. It's also a timing card. Ace of Cups is a summer timing card, okay? And we're just going to look at just a few of these from each of these suits because I really want to be able to do a little mini read, and I just want you to be able to have a look at these cards here. Okay. Okay, and then let's get over to the next in line. We have the suit cards too. We have pages, which often represent very young people. They often represent messages as well. We have knights, which is all about movement and often things like actual approaches, people approaching you, invitations, okay? And then we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. And of course, these are associated with water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio for the cup suit, okay? Then we have the Ace of Swords, Air sign collective, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is a timing card, season card associated with the season of winter. So I'll show you a few of these cards. Okay, again, a card that we typically look at and we notice the darkness. That's what we see. And I'm so drawn to the light with the Three of Swords. I can't help but focus in on the light element of it. It's like given big, like the wound is how the light gets through messaging for me. And I just think that's so cool because it's not your typical take, right? Even with the Four of Swords, you know, usually with the Four of Swords, it's about resting and letting go and release during a time of darkness where you kind of turn within and you have to have faith. You have to have trust even when you can't see the way forward. And I love how the light is just filtering through. I love this deck. I'm so excited to work with this deck. And I wish you could feel it because, you know, the backdrop of the cards is very smooth, but all of the detailing, it has that kind of rough quality, you know, when you have something that has that glow in the dark treatment on it. So in a way, it also kind of reminds me of like my childhood because I had a lot of glow in the dark stuff when I was younger. Oh, that Seven of Swords, man, that's been coming up for the collective a lot, hasn't it? We need to suss out that energy, collective. And then we got the Page of Swords. Okay, again, Page of Swords is about messages with the Page of Swords, in particular, intel, all right? Also young people. Queen of Swords, which I just have to say about the Queen of Swords, when the Queen of Swords is upright, she is fair, she is clear in judgment, she is balanced, she is truth, all right? I don't want to hear people talking about the Queen of Swords as a bitch. Don't disrespect the entire air sign collective like that, all right? That ain't right. That ain't right. If she's in reverse, she's a problem, okay? She can be very cold, very cruel, you know? You got to push Queen of Swords to quite a place of imbalance to get her there, though. To get her that out of pocket where she's ready to go off with your head style. But make no mistake about it. The Queen of Swords upright is in alignment with justice energy, okay? So don't get it twisted. I have to say, because I'm a Queen of Swords, okay? And I got a lot of Queen of Swords friends, so don't be dissing us, all right? You got to give us a chance, man. Okay, we got the Knight of Swords here. Again, forward motion. Motion that comes forward with decisiveness, clarity, like straight to the point, okay? And the King of Swords. Again, all those court cards, the page, the knight, the queen, the king, they represent actual players, people on the board, okay? When you have the signs come in terms of major arcana, you're really looking at more of an archetype that anybody can embody. But when you're looking at the court cards, they represent characteristics of people on the board. Now, the reality is that the astrological sign is just one aspect of those characteristics, right? There's other characteristics like hair color, types of features, the way the person may present themselves emotionally. So as you get into studying the tarot, you'll learn about all of those significators too. Then we have the Pentacles suit, okay? Ace of Pentacles, spring timing card, all right? New beginnings that are rooted in material reality that you can see. Okay, and we're going to look at a few of these. The Pentacles represent the Earth sign collective, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's have a look at a few of those. You have to excuse me. I need to clear my throat a little bit. I'm still getting the last bit of that bronchitis out of my system. It's really been stubborn. Okay. And we have the Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, the slowest, most methodical kind of, can we get to it already? Knight in the deck, okay? I'd have to say, you know, the fire and air element move forward the most passionately, the most impetuously, you know, so that's represented by the swords, of course, for the air and the wands for the fire. All right, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. And speaking of that fire, here we go. We got the Ace of Wands. Fall timing card, all right? Just look at a few of these. Okay. And then we'll do a little shuffle. And yeah, we'll just try them out, see how it feels when we shuffle them. And I think this is a good one to leave off on to show with the Six of Wands representing doing that lap, the winner's circle, you know, doing that victory lap. Eight of Wands, getting things moving forward. We have a lot of Eight of Wands energy coming in for the collective. I'm sure you can feel things starting to rev up. And here we go. We got the Page of Wands. That Knight of Wands, who moves forward passionately. Also often, you know, motivated sexually. We got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just dive in and do a little collective reading, just a little mini read. Let's look at what's coming up in the next 48 hours for the collective, just what themes are going to start to introduce themselves, and this will give us an idea of how these cards shuffle. They are really strong card stock, okay? So they're going to take a little bit of breaking in. I also have really tiny hands, so they're standard size cards, which for me is always a little bit of a stretch, but I can tell that these will have a lot of longevity. Even with a lot of shuffling, they should hold up really well, so I'm very pleased with that. You know, sometimes those decks that are really easy to shuffle right out the box, they don't last you very long. So I'd actually prefer to have something a little sturdier, even if it takes some breaking in for me to feel comfortable using them. But yeah, they feel really nice in the hands. They feel real solid. And let's just kind of focus the energy there. What is coming in for the collective? Spirit, what does the collective need to know over these next 48 hours? What themes are going to be introduced for the collective? What do they need to pay attention to? And what does the collective need to be aware of? What do they need to be live to over the next 48 hours from whenever they happen to view this? This is a timeless read, all right? Time is just a belief construct, man, anyway, okay? So whenever you receive this message, it is meant for you at that time. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive in and see what's in store for us. bottom of the deck energy. I picked up the whole deck in reverse, so I'm taking it in reverse. I do read reversals. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, the Knight of Pentacles, as we were saying, is already like the slowest knight in the deck, okay? It just takes forever for him to deliver on what he promised. And in this case, I feel like something has been on hold for so long that now it's just kind of at the point where it's like, forget about it. Like, things have changed so much in the time that you've been waiting for this thing to come through that now you're not even so sure if you want it anymore, because the person you were back when you did want that is not the person you are now. Everything's changed. So this is kind of an interesting piece coming in here. It almost makes me wonder what's kind of coming in right now is maybe that person's finally going to make it around to actually following through on that offer. And by the time they're arriving on the scene, you're like, I'll pass. Okay. Kind of an interesting message coming through. Let's see what else Spirit has in store. That would be Earth Sign Collective, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, by the way. Any strong placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded house. Okay. So that really opens up the playing field there for players on the board. But somebody is coming forward after a really long time, after maybe even you thought that the offer wasn't on the table anymore because it took them so long. And I feel like they're not getting the warmest reception. Yeah, we also got a Page of Wands. Okay, so we got news coming in. And I believe that this news is related to passion. So maybe this is an offer coming forward, but you might feel like it's not quite on the level that you were promised. So again, there's like this lack of follow through. It's like, wah, wah. It's one of those moments where you've been holding out for this thing because it was really built up to be just everything you wanted, you know? You've been waiting for the fulfillment of a dream, you know? Something that was promised to you, something you were really hoping for. And when it comes through, it's just like this Page of Wands energy, which is often really sexually motivated, passionately motivated, you know. It's about getting it in, but it's also, you know, it's kind of an immature energy, especially when you thought something was going through a maturation process. And that's why you've been hanging out at the crossroads so long, waiting for this thing to come in. I feel like it's a little bit of a letdown moment. That's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, I think your intuition has picked up that, you know, this is not what it's about. I think you understand that there's a lot happening beneath the surface here. You know that there's much that's been hidden in this situation. At times you really felt like you were in the dark about this matter. You felt very burdened by it. It's something that weighed really heavily on you. Maybe you had to keep your feelings secret in this situation too, because you were waiting for this person to close something out that would make it possible for you to move forward with them. This also was, you know, very stressful for you. And I think you also felt like you carried most of the weight in this connection. And I say carry most of the weight as in W-A-I-T, waiting around. And that's what was so burdensome. It's like you're in this high priestess energy and yet you're sitting here being put on pause by somebody who's like a page. It really kind of puts it in perspective. It's got you looking out toward the future in a whole new way now. It's sort of like, well, scrap that. I got to figure out what the hell I want to do now, right? We got Queen of Cups on the board now. Okay, so far we got fire, we got earth, and we got the cups now. That's water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's also a very intuitive energy, all right? It's about listening to the intuition, and this pairs beautifully with that high priestess energy right there, all right? We're being asked to really remember to balance between the shadow and the light, the experiences we've been through in the past, the difficulties we've been through in the past. You may have even been through difficult experiences with this person repeatedly in the past. Maybe this person always takes you on that deep dive like Persephone goes on when she goes down to visit her boyfriend Hades down in hell, you know. But maybe there's something that's always been a little bit alluring to you about that, something enticing about that to you. Maybe you willfully ate those pomegranate seeds so you could go on that ride. But I think that this experience has been a very spiritual connection. And when we talk about spiritual connections, it's not always a matter of it's some beautiful, fantastical experience. It's not some twin flame journey, you know. I'm sorry, I don't buy into all of that. I'm not about that. But I do believe that we have very powerful spiritual connections that also have a romantic or a sexual, passionate charge to them. And sometimes these connections take us to the darkest parts of ourselves, 7:33 on the clock. They give us an opportunity to learn a very profound spiritual lesson and to integrate really wounded parts of us through our empowerment in breaking free from these kind of connections, in learning our own self-worth and doing that work of that Scorpio South node to really integrate the shadows so we can rise up into the Taurus North node, our destiny, where we really do know our worth and we stand on it. It's the work we're all doing right now. And this is what leads us to that victory. It's the triumph over the lessons of the past. And it comes through that like priestess, know thyself. It's about really trusting your own internal wisdom and not being swayed by the part of you just wants instant gratification, but yet the wiser part of you that knows where that leads when you allow yourself to be compromised. Okay, let's see more of the top of the deck energy here. It always leads to regret, right? And this is likely a third party element. That's likely why you waited around so long, because there was more than one person involved in this situation. And maybe there's a lot of people who have been let down, you know, waiting around on somebody who's found actually kind of a lot of pleasure stringing people along. It's given them a bit of a confidence boost to feel some sense of false empowerment. I feel like this is a situation where there's been a lot of push-pull power dynamics, and there hasn't been a lot of forthright, honest communication, follow through. There's too many secrets in this situation from what I can see, and too much paying lip service with not enough action, you know. So then when the action finally comes around, it's just like this little sputtering flame. There's been nothing to feed it, and it ain't got what you need to really feel that heat you want to build in a connection. Okay, like what can you do with some little sputtering flame when inside you need an inferno, baby? I mean, I just feel like you can wait around forever for this thing to level up and be what you want it to be, but really you're just kind of crying over spilled milk. And meanwhile, if you turned around and you look in another direction, there's an opportunity for the right kind of union on the other side of this experience. And it's the kind of union that, you know, will really light your fire, okay? That Jim in the back there. Come on, baby, light my fire. Don't settle for less. Let's see. Any other guidance about this? It looks like there's some situation where we're really reviewing why we settled for so little in the past. Like, what was it? What was it about this person that kept us hanging on and hoping for more? Why did we put ourselves on that back burner? Because really nobody can make us do anything. It's about the choices we choose to make in this situation, all right? So let's just see if Spirit wants to give us any other guidance about this that we need to be aware of. You know, some of you are going to be getting some difficult news that's going to be coming in. It might even come through this person, you know, and they might be somewhat apologetic. They might actually be telling you that they can't follow through on the offer that they were going to make you because their passions are leading them in another direction. I think they will try to handle it to the best of their abilities, but this person isn't really like emotionally available, okay? So the way that they put it across to you may feel very disappointing and might even feel hurtful. But I think something that's kind of been hidden in this situation is being revealed to you. And it might not be the easiest news to take, collective. Ooh, when I said that, that flew right out. So I'll be interested to see what that has to say. All right. Ooh, this is powerful. I got chills. Don't trip over this, okay? You got to let that go. You got to let that go. Remember, there's something on the other side of that. There's 2 cups there. These are 2 cups that are on an even playing field. Like they're on the same level with one another. All right? They're standing tall in their position. We got this high priestess here, right? Well, look who we got now. We got the magician, all right? Spiritual counterparts. This is doing the work. This is leveling up, all right? And this is what will lead to happiness. So it really feels like, to me, the message that's coming through is when you have this disappointing news come through, and when this is revealed to you, instead of feeling so dejected and disappointed and rejected, why don't you instead look at it as you're being protected and preserved for something that's more on your level? And maybe, you will go through a period where it's more about focusing on yourself and doing your own healing work and really stepping into your empowerment, cultivating yourself spiritually, putting your focus, your interests in a different place. And it's through you doing this and trusting your path, you'll actually be led to a counterpart. You'll be led to somebody who can meet you on that level. And I've been having this message come in for a while. It feels like it's somebody who has also been doing the work you've been doing. Like the people that have been doing the work, they've really been diving deep and integrating all of these unhealthy behaviors, all these dysfunctional patterns. They've been looking at them. They've been doing the work, doing what they need to do to level up, elevate their consciousness, make healthier choices in their lives, cut off relationships that don't serve them, stop settling, learn to discover their worth, understanding where that feeling of being unlovable, unworthy came from in the first place, okay? So the people that have really been working on this stuff, you're going to lose connections that can never meet you in that place. It's what's going down now. But it's through you letting these things go graciously and not expecting somebody who's just not emotionally capable to give you some big, dramatic Hollywood ending to your story. They can't do it. And in a sense, it's about having the elevated consciousness to be able to understand that, hey, this is where this person's at on their path. And maybe I wanted this with them, and maybe I did see the potential, but this is just not going to be able to meet me. And I have to respect where they're at. I think, it's good to have a communication, let a communication in, and let it be an opportunity for both people maybe to have their spiritual healing process ignited. But it doesn't look like it's the right time to come together with this person. And in fact, it looks like there's something that's on the other side of it. If you just wait. Yeah, we got the 9 of Wands here. Just popped out. You need to wait a little bit. You need to remember everything that you've gone through in this situation. Do you really want to repeat of that? Before you can even let love in, you need to be in a place where you've dropped this stance. This is about expecting a fight. This is about expecting a battle. This is about being closed off and being weary, being tired from everything you've been through. I think it's time to allow yourself to move more into a softening space. And you can't do it if you have somebody coming towards you that you're making space for that automatically puts your hackles up. It makes you feel like it's not okay for you to let go, that it's not safe for you to let go, right? So any final guidance for the collective on this matter, Spirit? Any final guidance for the collective on this matter? Anything else that you would like them to know? Woo! Okay. All right, yeah, bottom of the deck energy, we got the 6 of Swords, which is all about moving away, at least for the time being, I see. I think that's very clear. We also have the Knight of Wands, again, fire sign collective, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We see that, maybe the initial message will be refused, it won't provide the entry point. Again, we have Queen of Pentacles energy as a crossing influence. This energy may actually even be blocking this forward motion. So there might be some kind of obstacle in the way. Usually when you have a crossing influence like that, I want to make sure no other cards fell, because they did kind of fall into my lap and it doesn't look like it. Normally when you have a card as a crossing influence come out like that, it means that there are forces working for or against the situation. And when we see a Knight of Wands, like wanting to charge forward with passion and purpose, and we got a Queen of Pentacles, you know, energy kind of blocking the way, I feel like this energy is like holding this impetuous, passionate behavior back. It's like, I think initially it comes in as that Page of Wands, like maybe dropping into the DMs with a little bit of that, hey, what you doing action, you know? And that doesn't get them anywhere. Maybe they even found, you know, them just left on red, and then that doesn't stop them. Then they're like, oh, okay, I can't get through to you that way. Well, now I'm going to level up to the Knight. I'm going to be pretty persistent. But I feel like this energy is blocking it, this Queen of Pentacles energy, all right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, any significant placement in the chart, all right? So when we're looking at Pentacles energy, we're looking about what's logical, what's practical, what's going to give me stability, what is something I can count on, what is something solid. That's the perspective of the Queen of Pentacles. And when we look at that Wands energy, we are looking at, you know, a very highly sexualized energy, motivated by the wand action, if you know what I'm saying, wants to use that magic wand, wants you to use your magic wand on them, you know, pick what side you're on of that equation. But it's very much like just an in the moment kind of energy. It's not thinking about the pentacles. It's not thinking about the long term. It's about right now, you know. It's that I'm a now kind of guy, or I'm a now kind of girl kind of energy, you know. Strike while the iron's hot. But the problem with that is it looks like there's been disappointment in this situation before, and that's just not going to cut it this time. And it's like, okay, that's nice, you know, you went from the Knight of Pentacles promising me what I did want, this real solid offer that I could count on. I'm already in that space. I'm ready to receive my king. But you're coming at me with this Page shit. And okay, you advanced a little bit. Now you're at this Knight level. It still ain't enough. And I think you're starting to realize, like, I could wait forever for this person to be ready for me, and they just won't be, because they're never going to be able to catch up. And the only way they possibly could is if I stop growing and I allow myself to stagnate while they take their sweet time catching up to me. And it looks like this person, they're out to have fun. They're out to have a good night, you know? So who knows if they ever really will catch up for you, all right? So what is the best course of the action? Best course of action for the collective to take in this situation regarding this advance? What is the wisest course of action? Oh, man, we really got stuff flying around here. Oh, man. All right, that flipped right out in the middle of the deck there. We got two cards there. I'm going to take those. Let's go ahead and shuffle these out, and I'll see these ones that fell here again in my lap. Got to make sure nothing else fell. No. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the crux of the matter. All right? So what fell in my lap is the crossing influence. It's so funny the way it's mirroring. What is it? It's the Ten of Pentacles, okay? No, I want the serious commitment. I want somebody I can build with. I want somebody I can build a home with, build a future with, have a feeling of family with, you know? I want somebody who will really invest in me because I know my worth. I don't want to just be your booty call. I don't want to just be the one you want to hang out with on the weekend. I want to be the one you see your future with, all right? And that's the crossing influence. What do we got coming at us? We got this Two of Pentacles. This like, one day I'm in, the next day I'm out. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. This is very fickle, wishy-washy energy, non-committal. And this person isn't going to be making up their mind anytime soon. So to me, it looks like this is really your choice, collective. And it was pretty wild because, you know, we had coming up as a crossing influence, what flipped up there was the Three of Swords. And behind that is the Two of Swords. So this big Libra energy here, okay, both of these cards represent Libra. So I will call it out when there's significators coming in like this, okay? So this is about, I know the heartache I've been through before. I know the way I've been hurt. But I've seen the way the light got through. And I understand my value and my worth. And I don't need to be distracted by anything outside of myself right now. I'm going to tune in to that intuition, activating that high priestess knowing. And I'm just going to pass on this for right now. I do see a blocking energy. I do see a desire to want to stay in your own energy and not be distracted by something that you're already quite clear is not what you want. And you've been clear about that from the get. And still, you have this approach where you're being expected to compromise your core values. 2244. It's not good enough. All right? Some of you may decide to go for this, you know. But this is the judgment. And the judgment is in your favor. You definitely got somebody coming back around from the past to deal with, all right? And you might need to pass judgment on this situation. It might not be easy, but I don't see that this is a situation that's going to like take off overnight. It looks like there's a lot of kind of stop and go in this matter. Does look like there's going to be an initial approach coming in soon, kind of the deck energy. There's that Queen of Wands, okay? So it's very funny to me, all right? Look at all of this strong feminine energy we have on the board. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. Where is she? We have the Queen of Cups, all right? This is like, we almost got all the queens on the board. The only one missing is the Queen of Swords, all right? The only one missing is the Queen of Swords. And what does the Queen of Swords do? The Queen of Swords cuts off what doesn't serve, all right? So this is the part of the collective that still needs some work. Oh, we got a King of Cups. We got the emotions are there, all right? So, I mean, this is a positive sign, water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So we see there's love, there's feeling there, but the problem is that, you know, we got somebody who's still ruled too much by, you know, they're ruled too much by their want. They want to get it in. There's somebody who wants to have their cake and eat it too. And this is the problem, you know, there's not the full, complete leveling up. But this is a situation that with time, with energy, with cooperation, with working together, it absolutely can lead to the Ten of Cups. It's about you really making up your mind if you want to go that long route. Or do you want to strike out on your own, take a risk, head out in a brand new direction with the energy of the Fool, which brings you justice, okay, complete karmic balancing. There's that Queen of Swords. There's that Queen of Swords, okay, sitting with the balanced scales, big Libra energy, all right? You make the choice that maybe isn't the easiest choice, but it's the choice that aligns with your spirit, okay? Because this is what the Lovers is about. It's about listening to your soul and where it's calling you and choosing to do the work, all right? Really investing in yourself, choosing to do the work. And if you do that, look what comes in after that. The Emperor. We get a leveling up of the masculine energy. All right. Knight of Pentacles to the Six of Cups. Okay. This is somebody that you have had dealings with in the past, or they feel like somebody that you have known all your life. All right. This situation, I see you bringing it to a close for the time being, because you're not going to be satisfied with the offer that comes forward right now. It hasn't grown enough. And don't you understand that maybe that's what needs to happen? There needs to be a cutting off, because if you cut off the energy, then it has a chance to sort of reflect on itself and do the work it needs to do to elevate, all right? So it's not about you taking on this person's work. It's about you giving them an opportunity to grow, all right? And from there, I see another action being taken. It'll come in the fall with that Ace of Wands. Again, wand energy, very passionate, all right? Comes in with this swords energy, Knight of Swords, quite impetuously. This is when I can't hold the feelings in any longer. I have to communicate. I have to speak the things that are on my heart, because if I stay in this position any longer, I feel like I'm trapped. I'm imprisoned by my feelings, my emotions, just eating away at me, the regrets of everything that I never said, all those things that I wanted to communicate are being held inside of me, and it's driving me crazy. I mean, that's what the Eight of Swords is about. It's about feeling in great emotional turmoil because there's not the ability to gain clarity, because instead of realizing the truth, standing in the truth, speaking the truth, and setting yourself free, because it is the truth that sets us free, we stay stuck, all right? And look at this. This is so beautiful. You give it the time, and it will mature with the strength. It will have what it needs to overcome the lessons of the past and to bring forward the feelings of hurt and vulnerability that maybe they didn't feel strong enough to express before. But there is a leveling up of this energy and then a moving forward with the Chariot. And this leads to the Two of Cups. It's a long journey, collective, all right? But right now, I see you're going to block it for the time being because it's just not where it needs to be. And right now, you're more focused on your security. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But where you do invest in yourself and what you know will truly be fulfilling for you in a relationship, you're going to see a pretty bold action come through in the fall that will change absolutely everything.